Welcome back to the deep dive. This time, we're going to be taking a deep dive into OpenAI's groundbreaking tool, deep research. You've given me a stack of articles and reports about it, and
Yeah,
honestly, it feels like we're on the verge of something really big here.
it's definitely shaking things up. Imagine a world where, those complex research tasks, the kind that used to take us days or even weeks to complete. We can now do those in just a fraction of the time and with amazing accuracy. That's what deep research is promising.
Okay, so we're not just talking about a smarter search engine or something. What exactly is deep research, and what makes it so different from everything else we've seen in AI so far?
It's a totally different way that AI is interacting with information now. Deep research isn't just limited to giving us quick answers. It's like an autonomous research agent. It can go deep into multiple sources and analyze data, and then it generates these comprehensive reports, and it even cites its sources.
Wow, so it's like having a whole research team, but all powered by AI.
Exactly. And it's all powered by OpenAI's upcoming O3 model. Think of O3 as like the brains behind deep research. O3 is designed for really advanced reasoning, web browsing, and data analysis.
Sure.
It can understand and process information in a way that no previous model has been able to do.
One of the things that really jumped out at me when I was reading through this material was just how many different types of tools deep research uses. It can go on the web, analyze PDFs, images, and even run code to crunch numbers and visualize data.
It's really pretty remarkable. Imagine deep research just seamlessly navigating the web. It can pull out key insights from all kinds of research papers and even do calculations to support its own findings, all without any human intervention. It's like a digital research assistant that just never sleeps.
Yeah, the analogy I kept seeing was that deep research is like having a digital research analyst, someone who can not only access information but then synthesize it and present it in a way that's actually useful.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just theoretical either. Deep research has already proven itself on standardized benchmarks. It outperforms other AI models in areas that need deep knowledge gathering, especially in fields like chemistry, social sciences, and even the humanities.
Yeah, there was a quote from Sergio Oliveira. He's a director of development at a digital agency. He said that deep research could completely revolutionize how companies do research,
Yeah.
leading to greater efficiency and effectiveness.
What's fascinating is that what he said applies to so many different sectors. Like, think about finance. Analysts could use deep research to get a competitive edge in market analysis and investment due diligence. The speed and accuracy of this tool could completely change the game.
There was another article that I was reading that was talking about its potential impact on scientific research,
Hmm.
specifically in pharmaceuticals. Peter Morales, he's the CEO of an AI firm, he suggested that deep research could automate the creation of technical research reports. This could free up scientists to focus more on the creative parts of their work.
That's such a powerful point. Imagine researchers being able to use deep research to analyze huge amounts of data from clinical trials and research papers. That could lead to breakthroughs in drug development and disease treatment. The implications for human health are just huge.
And it's not just science and finance. We're talking about marketing, legal research, e-commerce, policy analysis. It seems like deep research could change how we approach any task that needs in-depth information.
The possibilities really are expansive. And what's exciting is that we're just getting started. As this technology keeps getting better, we're going to see even more applications pop up.
So we've talked a lot about the potential of deep research, but I think we need to address the elephant in the room here. How much is this all going to cost? Right now, it's only available for ChatGPT Pro users, which is a pretty significant investment for most people.
You're right, accessibility is a major factor here. OpenAI has said that they're committed to making deep research available to more people. They're working on a faster and more affordable version that would be available to a much wider range of users, including Plus subscribers and enterprise clients.
That would be amazing. That would give so many more people and organizations access to this powerful tool.
Exactly. It's all about finding a balance between pushing the limits of what's possible with AI and making sure that everyone can benefit from these advancements.
So we've covered a lot of ground already, but
Yeah.
for our listeners who are hearing about this for the first time, what are some of the strengths and limitations they should keep in mind? What makes this tool so powerful? And what are some of the potential problems?
That's a great question, and that's exactly what we'll cover in the next part of our deep dive. We'll look at both the capabilities that make deep research such a game changer and the things we need to be aware of as we enter this new world of AI-powered research.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We just started talking about OpenAI's deep research, and I want to get into the details now. You mentioned some strengths and limitations. What makes deep research so powerful?
One of the things that's so impressive is how it can pull together information from so many different sources.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about text. It can look at images, PDFs, and even get data from charts and tables.
So it's not just reading, it's really understanding the data, right? Like it can see the connections and patterns that maybe a human researcher wouldn't.
Right, exactly. And that leads to another strength, which is the depth of its analysis. It doesn't just look at the surface, it really goes deep, looking at all sides and making connections between different pieces of information.
So that means we get a way more complete and detailed understanding of a topic than we could if we were just doing research the old way.
Exactly. It's like having a team of experts who never stop working to find every bit of information that's relevant. But they're working at the speed of AI.
That's pretty amazing. But what about accuracy? How do we know the information it's finding is actually reliable?
That's where the citations come in. Every claim that deep research makes is backed up with a source. So you can always go back and check where it got the information from and make sure it's credible.
So it's like having a built-in fact checker.
Exactly.
That's really important, especially with all the misinformation out there these days. It seems like deep research could actually help fight that problem.
Yeah, I think it could. By making the sources so clear, it encourages people to think critically and be more careful about what they believe.
Okay, so we've talked about the good stuff, but let's be real, no tool is perfect. What are some limitations of deep research that we need to watch out for?
Well, one thing to remember is that it's still in development. It's a super powerful tool, but it's not perfect. Sometimes it makes mistakes or misunderstands information or even draws conclusions that aren't really supported by the evidence.
So we still need to use our own judgment. We can't just blindly trust the results.
Right, exactly. It's a tool, not a replacement for human thinking. We need to be responsible when we use it.
Okay, so let's talk about some real-world applications. We've mentioned a few already, but let's go deeper. Let's start with finance. How could deep research give someone an advantage in the markets?
Okay, so imagine you're a financial analyst and you're trying to figure out whether you should invest in a company. You could tell deep research to do all the background checks for you. It could analyze all the financial reports, news articles, legal documents, even what people are saying on social media. And then it could give you a complete assessment of the company's financial health and how they're doing in the market.
Wow, that would save so much time. Analysts would be able to focus on making decisions instead of spending all their time doing research.
Exactly. And it's the same for market research too. Deep research could track what competitors are doing, analyze consumer trends, and find new opportunities.
Yeah.
All super fast and accurate.
Let's talk about scientific research now, specifically drug development. One of the articles mentioned that deep research could speed up the process of finding new drugs.
Yeah, that's an area where deep research could be totally revolutionary. Imagine being able to analyze tons of data from clinical trials, research papers, and medical databases, and then use that to find potential drug candidates that might have been missed before.
That could lead to cures for diseases that have been around for a long time.
It really could. And not just that, it could analyze patient data to personalize treatment plans, figure out potential side effects, and even predict how well different treatments might work.
It sounds like deep research could give doctors information they never had before.
Exactly. And it's not just limited to medicine either. What about lawyers? They could use deep research to sift through tons of past cases, find relevant precedents, and even predict how a legal battle might turn out.
That would make the whole legal process faster and easier for everyone.
It would. And it's not just about speed either, it's about accuracy. By looking at so much data, deep research could help lawyers avoid making mistakes and make sure their clients are getting the best possible representation.
And we've also seen how deep research could be a game changer for marketing. It could give marketers a deep understanding of how consumers behave so they can create more targeted and effective campaigns.
Imagine being able to analyze customer data from social media, online forums, and what they buy to figure out what trends are emerging, predict what people will want in the future, and personalize marketing messages for each person.
So instead of just sending the same message to everyone, they can tailor their approach to each individual.
Exactly. Creating a better experience for both the customer and the business.
This is amazing, and it sounds like we're just scratching the surface here.
We are. As deep research keeps evolving, we're going to see even more creative ways to use it.
So we've talked about the strengths, the limitations, and the potential applications. But what about the future? What can we expect from OpenAI as they keep developing this technology? We'll explore those exciting possibilities in the next part of the deep dive.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent the last two segments talking about OpenAI's deep research. everything from its amazing capabilities to how it can be used in so many different fields. But now I want to look ahead. What exciting things can we expect as this technology keeps getting better?
Well, one really promising area is making deep research accessible to more people. Like we talked about earlier, right now it's only for ChatGPT Pro users, which is a problem for a lot of people and organizations, but OpenAI has said that they want everyone to be able to use it.
So you think we'll see deep research available to pretty much anyone soon?
That's definitely the goal. They're working on a version that's faster and cheaper that could be offered to Plus subscribers and businesses too. That would be a game changer. It would put the power of deep research into the hands of so many more people. And who knows what kind of amazing things could happen then.
Exactly.
So besides making it more accessible, what other advancements are we looking at for deep research?
They're also working on integrating it with specialized data sources. Imagine connecting deep research to a company's private knowledge base. It could access all this confidential information and use it to generate even more useful and insightful reports.
That would be incredibly valuable for companies, especially the ones working in really specific fields.
Absolutely. And think about connecting it to huge academic journal databases. Researchers would have access to a mountain of scientific knowledge, which could lead to all kinds of breakthroughs.
So basically, deep research could become the ultimate research tool, able to combine information from public and private sources to give us a complete picture of anything we want to learn about.
That's the idea. But it's not just about having more data. OpenAI is also working on making the output of deep research better, more user-friendly and insightful.
How are they doing that?
Well, for one thing, they're adding images, charts, and other visuals right into the reports. So it's not just a bunch of text, it's more like a multimedia presentation.
That would be a big improvement. Sometimes it's easier to see patterns and trends in a visual way.
Exactly. The goal is to present information in a way that's both comprehensive and engaging.
You mentioned earlier that deep research could potentially work with other AI agents like Operator. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. Operator is another AI agent from OpenAI. It can actually take actions based on instructions or information that you give it. So imagine combining the research power of deep research with Operator's ability to do things.
Wow. So the AI wouldn't just give us a report, it could actually go out and do things based on what it finds.
Exactly. Let's say deep research analyzes the best travel options for your next business trip. It considers your preferences, budget, and schedule. Then Operator could use that info to book your flights, hotels, even arrange transportation for you, all automatically.
That would be amazing. It's like having a personal assistant that does the research and then takes care of everything.
Right. It's a glimpse into the future where AI can handle more and more complex tasks, making our lives easier and helping us get more done. But of course, as these capabilities grow, we have to think about the ethical implications.
You're right. Like we talked about before, we can't forget about human oversight. And we need to be careful about where the information is coming from and watch out for potential biases, especially as these tools become more powerful and independent.
Absolutely. We have to be responsible.
It's good to see that OpenAI is being cautious. They're starting with a limited release, monitoring for problems, and getting feedback from users.
Definitely. We're all in this together. Developing and using powerful AI tools like deep research is an ongoing conversation. Researchers, developers, policymakers, and users need to work together to make sure these advances benefit everyone.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. It's amazing to see the potential of deep research and all the possibilities for AI-driven research. We're entering a whole new era of information, one that's going to change the way we learn, work, and make decisions.
It really is an exciting time. As deep research and other AI tools get even better, we're going to see more groundbreaking discoveries and innovations. It's a journey with incredible potential, but also a lot of responsibility.
Thank you so much for breaking all this down for us. And to our listeners, keep exploring, stay informed, and be a part of the conversation about how we can develop and use these powerful AI tools in a responsible way. Until next time, happy researching.